Grand Rising, Matt. Welcome to Rise Up Breathwork, everyone. I am Sandy, and I am live on location from beautiful Nantasket Beach. I'm having a little staycation with my family for school vacation week, and Hull has such a special place in my heart because 20 years ago, I actually lived down here and had purchased my first home down here. And as you can see, it is a beautiful day. There's really not a lot of people here. And I mean, that's kind of the beauty of staycationing in New England at the beach, right?
Yeah.
Because nobody else is here. So yeah, just as usual, I wanted to let everybody know about a couple of things going on at the church this week. Of course, tomorrow night we have Matt's midweek vibe check, which you guys can arrive at 7 o'clock. We get going around 7:30. That lasts about an hour. $10 for members, 20 for non-members. Then we have Sarah hosting on Friday for her shamanic illumination, which Open Doors Yoga Studio. I cannot shout out enough for their generosity, allowing us to use the third floor. So once again, arrive between 7 and 7:30. We'll have a little bit of socializing time, and then we'll head upstairs for some healing. On Saturday, we have my husband in the house, Rocking Soul Saturday with DJ Frantic, and they're going to be doing a mix this week. It's actually going to be reggae, techno, um, blues, soul, and funk. So it's going to be like a real mixed bag, and they're going to do like 5 and 5. So Jay will do 5 records and Fran will do 5 records. It'll be a little bit of a battle. So that's always a good time. And you know, children are allowed because once again, this is our church's mission, is to bring the children, into the chapel to check out the altar, to really check out the vinyl collection and inspire them to become DJs and raise the vibration when we pass on, and keep that record collection, spinning and moving and shaking when we are long gone. So that will be our legacy. And yeah, it's a little bit chilly, but I'm actually pretty excited because I'm nice and bundled up today, Matt. So I intend to place the camera in a position where you guys can enjoy the sounds of the sea. Interestingly enough, this is actually the Gulf of Maine. People don't really realize that this beach here is actually the Gulf of Maine, and I come from Maine. That might be why I have such an affinity for this particular beach. I grew up at the sea. It's home to me. My favorite activity when I was a kid, which was definitely a meditation, was just looking for shells and sand dollars and, walking for miles. I mean, it was at
Yeah.
least 3 or 4 days a week. It's all we did. So I'm so blessed to have had nature as such a part of my, childhood, from the woods to the sea. So I feel at home here. And my glasses are ridiculous and like falling off my face right now with this hat.
I love it.
But yeah, I love that with technology, we're able to continue our breathwork classes and sessions together from anywhere that I happen to travel. So thank you, Matt, for joining us and taking this time to find stillness and just take a minute to pause and breathe. I'm so grateful for you. How are you feeling today?
I'm doing really well. I'm excited. I get to dog sit again after this, so I'm gonna be doing
Nice.
my own little vacation and staying down in Norfolk for a few days.
Oh,
I love that area. Some of my favorite hiking is down there. Um, yeah, and I appreciate you actually going venturing out into the cold and bringing us like these beautiful views. And I love having you here, but like I think something like this is just so beautiful, and especially on a vacation week, just maybe showing people like, yeah, let's get out, let's go do something with your time, with your family, and think outside the box a little bit. So I appreciate you doing that for everyone.
yeah, my pleasure. Now, I'm still going to be able to hear you, but I'm going to
Yeah.
try to find
Well,
a
so
position.
hold on a second. Don't go. Not yet. Not yet.
Okay. I'm not going anywhere just yet.
Okay. So,
Keep you hanging.
um, one thing also is just bringing up Anna's. Is she going to be doing her uh thing tomorrow? Her podcast tomorrow?
As far as I know, we will be having yoga with Anna tomorrow, even though it's school vacation week. I haven't heard any different. So, yeah,
Okay.
tune in at 1 p.m. for our midweek reset, which is a
Yeah.
nice slow flow yoga class with Anna. That's always a really nice restorative yoga class for me, and kind of opposite of a lot of the power yoga that I've been
Yeah.
doing, especially up at Open Doors with the heat and everything. So, this is a not heated yoga class. It's very approachable, it's great for beginners.
Yeah.
Great for anybody who's just curious about yoga and wants to meet Anna because she rocks the house at the chapel as one of our high priestesses, 900-hour trauma informed yoga therapist. And Matt, we actually have your service for breathwork available now up on greennetworkproviders.com. We don't want to forget to mention that because people might really benefit from having a private one-on-one breathwork session with you. Matt also does, the sound healing. He does somatic healing movement and breathwork all together. So Matt's very intuitive and can really probably hone in on what it is that you need, which might not be exactly what I need.
Yeah.
Um, and it's a really nice experience, especially with the crystal singing bowls and the mix of the Tibetan singing bowls is such a nice combination. And the collection that you have really gathered over the last year is pretty impressive, Matt, I have to say.
Thank you. Yeah, and I'm like at this point. I was talking to Christine the other day, and I was like, I want more. Like, I really want more. Like,
It's like
but I think
addicting.
that's part of the fun is like I want, and the way we're starting to play together is really fascinating too, because we're really feeling off of each other and trying some different things. And I think too, like with the green uh, network providers, sometimes when we choose to do something like say do a breath work session or uh, do some type of thing that really maybe opens up that box of awareness to like who we are, things that we want to look at and stuff like that. And sometimes that's like an event like that we go to for one day, or maybe it's like a weekend workshop or getaway, and we come back and we're on such a high, right? And I think like sometimes, yeah, like how do we integrate? And that's I think part of what I want to try to help bring in is like that integration of that experience and anything else that someone is going through, and how do we integrate that into life so that we can transform into like that beautiful vibration. Because I think that's the difficult part is like the actual integration part of like really bringing it into life and getting past that 3 day high where we feel good and all of a sudden we drop into right back at life again. What do we do? Right?
Yeah, no, totally. I love that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad that you brought that up because, Green Network Providers is also doing, sorry, I'm a little bit ADHD
Yeah.
here.
No worries. Yeah.
Green Network Providers is offering
Yeah.
a multitude of services, for folks that may have been kind of like stuck in the traditional healthcare system, for
Yeah.
years, maybe decades, taking certain pharmaceuticals or doing maybe certain activities that they're not really finding or serving them anymore. And they're
Yeah.
curious about what it would look like to reduce or come off of certain pharmaceuticals and maybe replace it with other activities that are going to serve them in a different way. So we have, a ketamine consultation available for people that are interested in learning about that for mental health. We have microdosing education, and we have the medication management, which is really helping people to find a protocol in a
Mm.
safe way to reduce those pharmaceuticals, because we never ever suggest that you should just quit cold turkey anything. You have to really titrate down slowly with anything, or titrate up slowly with anything that you
Yeah.
are introducing or taking away, because you don't want to do anything super abrupt to your brain or to your body. You know what I mean? So I think the nurse practitioners that we work with, they're so amazing because Caitlin is also an herbalist, so she's not
Mm.
just going to talk about cannabis. She's not just going to talk
Right.
about mushrooms. She's going to talk about other ways to support your gut health. How are you sleeping? What other activities are you doing to maintain your mental health? And then Julie is more of a family practitioner, and she was a midwife, so she's really in tune with a lot of like female reproductive issues, menopause issues, postpartum issues. So, Caitlin and Julie are coming from slightly different perspectives as nurse practitioners, but they create such a nice balance for us, in terms of like what they can offer and what they can suggest. Because I did not go to medical school and I did not intend to get into healthcare, which is why I'm the high priestess and I deal more with the spiritual aspects and creating the safe and sacred spaces for us to come together so that we can have a container to explore and feel like we can be ourselves. We meet people where they're at. Matt and I are very like judge free zone, so when people come to us, we're just so lucky that we have the nurses for that extra support when it's a little bit beyond what we understand as far as especially pharmaceuticals and the like.
Yeah, and
So we're
and
super lucky.
that's and it's such a scary move for people. Like, there's so much fear in stepping away and just even looking listening or talking to someone about something different from what's been like the normal protocol for so long. And these women are so amazing and they're so beautiful to talk to. So if anyone out there is just has that little bit of fear too, like, like this is just a person to help hold space with you and to hear you out, answer your questions, and to just to help presents an idea to you so that so that we can kind of like weigh out like which direction do we actually want to go.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes just that stepping forward and making that call or reaching out can be difficult. And yeah, just for everyone to know like how beautiful they are, like you were saying, super easy to talk to, very down to earth, and just they get it. So
Yeah, everything from, people who found out that they have a cancer
yeah,
diagnosis, and they're looking for alternative recommendations to maybe be complementary to whatever
exactly.
it is that they're already doing. So again, it's not like a lot of this stuff you have to stop what you're doing. A lot of it is complementary and you can do it at the same time in conjunction with traditional treatment to find more relief, from the symptoms that you end up getting
Yeah,
from the medication that you might ultimately have to take. You know what I mean? And we can also mention Charlene. Charlene is the
yeah,
beautiful voice on the other end of the phone. She's a warrior. She put herself back to school as a single mom with 2 little boys and got her degree at age 40 in nutrition. So she'll be able to also hone in on some other things that you might not be thinking about as far as tinctures and
yeah.
foods and vitamins that will support your system. So we have a nice little well-rounded motley crew of humans that are trying to support you on your path to wellness. And again, it's a daily battle, right? Like we're all our environment is changing every day, our condition changes as a result of that. So again, with the seasons and everything, lack of vitamin D, lack of exercise, so much can be encouraged that's holistic in our group. So I'm
Yeah.
super proud of us and what we're creating, Matt.
And and even like like the holistic approach, like you being out by the water today, is actually I think also just going to help anyone out there today listening, to help actually ground you a little bit more because that's just so powerful out by the water. Um, and
Gorgeous.
thinking of that, like today to get started, like with breathing a little bit, I want to keep you with me here for a second because this is just going to be a little bit different from what I normally do. And so, what I would like to offer today is because maybe more people are at home listening. Maybe your kids are around, they're home from school for a week. So, I just wanted to bring up like a really super simple breath that is unbelievable to bring into the course of your day. Super easy to do, only takes like less than a minute, but you can do it for as long as you want. And what's really beautiful about this breath is it's good for everyone. So it doesn't matter if you're pregnant or just had surgery or whatever. You're just basically breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Um, and like you were saying a moment ago, just so like how difficult things can be or all this stuff is coming up. And so I feel like sometimes when we dip into like either a quick breath work, if it's 5 minutes, or if we're doing something that's like a little bit longer. And sometimes if we're trying to take a break from the day, like the stuff I talk about, like trying to bring this into more of who we are, sometimes I feel like the breath is not enough. Meaning that maybe you've had a super chaotic day, the kids are driving you nuts, maybe driving was, stressful or whatever it may be, and maybe our mind is really going at like 1,000 miles an hour, and we just can't pause the mind, like it just won't shut down. Anxiety, stress, whatever it is that's coming up. And so sometimes, like I just mentioned, maybe breathe. Like I can't breathe, like I can't shut down the mind. I can tune in and breathe, but I can't relax. I can't relax the heart. I can't relax the shoulders or the jaw or the eyes. Like I know I'm breathing, but I just can't get there. So there's this beautiful breath called the 5 finger breathing. And what the 5 finger breathing is, it's a little bit different because it's a multi-sensory breath. And meaning that to do this breath, let me get my hand right. We're actually going to stick our hand up like this in front of you. And so we're going to add in sight because we're going to be looking at the hand during this breath. We're also going to add in touch because what we're going to do is we're going to start at the thumb and take the pointer finger of the other hand. And we're going to start at the base of the wrist. And so basically what happens is that we're going to move the finger up to the tip of the thumb. And as we move the finger up, that's going to be our inhale. And then coming down is going to be our exhale. And then up is our inhale, down is the X. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And then when we reach the base of the wrist again on the outside of the pinky, outside of the hand, then that's one cycle. And then you can take a pause, a break, and then we can do it again. Now, what's really beautiful here is that this is a really super beautiful breath that can really deeply take you into a state of relaxation because of the multi-sensory. So if the monkey mind's going, the preschool of children within us is like rising. They're all standing up from their desk, like hollering. You're going, oh my God, I don't know who to pay attention to, right? And so because with this, so my invitation to you is to really look at what you're doing and really take in the sight of the movement. The other one is also to really feel into the touch, so going into that felt sense. And not only feeling the touch on the hand here, but also feeling the pointer finger and any movement in the shoulder. So, really, just any movement that's going on, the invitation is to fall into the sensation of the movement as we're looking at it. And because of this, um, it's actually going to allow us to quiet the mind a little bit because now we're adding in multi-sensory stuff. I just want to mention really quick too that it does help release endorphins within the mind, and like the benefits of this is it really can really help at a different level, relieve stress and anxiety. It can help really relax the body at a deeper level, especially when the mind is that active, and it can actually help with reducing pain and promoting actually sleep or healing. So this could be something good with the children if they're struggling with sleeping and just kind of fall into this pattern. It's easy to do. It's that multi-sensory thing, so it's going to help the child stay a little bit more active, as well as us too. Um, and then my last invitation here is to actually try to deepen your state of relaxation with each exhale. How does that sound to you? And do you have any questions on that, Sandy, or if anyone out there listening has any questions? What's your thoughts on that in this breath?
No, that sounds great. Let me know how this looks. I'm gonna step out of the way of the
Yep.
sea, and I'm gonna kind of sit on a more flat rock instead of the pebbles so that I can
Okay.
relax.
Okay. So what I'm gonna,
Yeah, I
yeah,
found a
you
nice
can
flat
set up the
rock here.
camera. That's a beautiful view. Um, so what we're gonna do here is I'm just gonna play a sound, and we're gonna go for 5 minutes with this. We're gonna go a little bit longer than what you might do at home. Um, and so the invitation here is to everything that I just offered and to maybe even look at the view a little bit and to just drop into this pattern for 5 minutes. So, yeah, so just go ahead and get yourself seated and nice and comfortable in a position. Maybe take a quick sip of water. Um, and we're going to start this momentarily. Let me find the speaker. Oh, it's right here. Okay. So let me move this. I'm going to be quiet during this 5 minutes, and we'll see how Sandy's feeling out there after this 5 minutes. So let's go ahead and begin
Great.
with this 5 finger breathing. a light reminder to try and soften into each exhale and relaxing a little bit deeper with each exhale. And then on the outside of the finger, just remember going all the way to the base of the wrist for the outside of the thumb and the outside of the pinky. So we're just extending that inhale or exhale. And for the last minute here, maybe diving a little bit deeper into the sensations of touch, the movement of the arm. And as we're approaching the last 30 seconds, my invitation here is to really burn this picture of movement into the mind, to really burn the sensations and the feelings into the mind, and really deepen that connection of everything with the mind. And now to place both hands down on your legs. And the invitation here is to close the eyes and to actually do this for 30 seconds within the mind's eye only, and imagining if you can see the hand now as the eyes are closed, bringing the image of the hand into the mind's eye, bringing it into the image of the hand, and now bringing the pointer finger in and just seeing how deeply you can see and feel this starting now for 30 seconds, and just drawing it within the mind. And now letting that go and just dropping into how are you feeling now. And the invitation here is just to feel with this stillness and this quietness, feeling a little bit deeper into how your entire being is feeling in this moment. And just feeling it. We don't have to name it. Let the mind go and just feel at a deeper level. Maybe feeling the sun, or maybe feeling like a fan in the house, or the couch, or the rocks you sit upon. And just bringing all these sensations a little bit deeper into our system. That's it. I'm going to stay like this for another 2 minutes, enjoying the stillness, any sounds around you, and breathing that in today. And in this deeper state, I'm going to invite you for a moment to imagine just feeling how the body breathes as a whole, deepening your relationship with the breath by feeling it at the level of the body and how it's breathing. Not thinking about the nose and the mouth, it's about the body, the stomach. Breathing from the body. I'm going to invite in a breath hold. So an invitation to take the deepest breath of today in through the nose up to the top of the mind, and to hold for as long as it's comfortable for you. And on your exhale, to invite in a little bit more forceful exhale, really letting everything out. And on that exhale, to also bring you back into your space and to reawaken, adding movement and kind of coming back to us for a moment. And then, Sandy, I'll invite you to come back on camera for a moment when you're ready, adding in any movement. Yep. Yep. Are you still with us, Sandy, or no? I can't tell. I think you're frozen. Okay. So I think she may be frozen. So, what I'm going to invite here for everyone to think about here for a moment is like, how do you feel right now? Like, what's your state of mind? How's your system feeling? Um,
Lost you for a second.
oh, there you are. Hi.
Yeah, it disconnected, but I was able to get back in.
Oh, no worries. So yeah, I just wanted to bring up like how was that experience for you with the 5 finger breathing leading into like the um like eyes closed.
It was great. I mean, with the waves in the ocean, became the wave.
Yeah.
Like my breath just in
Yeah, maybe bring your phone up a little bit. Oh,
the
you might want to
touch.
hold it.
Yeah. No, I just felt like my entire body was like vibrating like the waves, like it was just like this, but it wasn't like a fast vibration. It was like with the energy of the ocean,
Yeah.
like my body just feels super like one with the nature, the natural surroundings that I'm in. And I really could feel it like through my lower back, up through my spine,
Mm.
thing in the back of my head, even in the bottom of my feet. Um, I just kind of did like a body scan, and it
Yeah.
was just, yeah, it was just really beautiful.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. And so what I would like to do for the last few minutes here is actually to bring in like how you're feeling now and the sensations within the body, and to kind of maybe even bring in just a lightly different form of thinking when we breathe. So if you want to find a comfortable spot again, um, and what I'm going to invite in here is like, you can just stay with me. You don't have to necessarily lay down because we can even talk briefly about like how this may feel different for you. Um, and so when we're breathing, right, and we get into like this flow, and maybe sometimes it's like we focus a lot on feeling it like through the nose, you hear me talk about, and how we exhale out through the mouth, or whatever the pattern is, whatever it is. And so, what I'm going to invite you to do for 5 breaths, Sandy, is to really attune in the mind into feeling the breath right now just through the nose for your inhale, how it goes into the stomach, and then exhaling out through the mouth. So, this is super common. We do this all the time. I ask this quite a bit when we're dropping in. And so, just go into that sensation for me for 5 breaths. And then at the end, I invite everyone to talk to yourself and how does that feel for you? And Sandy, I'll ask you if you don't mind sharing it, like how that feels for you, and then everyone else can like, if you're listening to this after the fact, you can pause it. So I think we lost her again. So for me, when I'm feeling this breath, it's like I'm really feeling how the air travels throughout my system and how it exits the system as well. So now what I'm going to invite in here is that um, we're going to fall into the breath again. We're going to go for a little bit longer here. We're going to go for about a minute. And so my invitation here is the breathing in through the nose again, out through the mouth. But to attune, we're going to attune now, Sandy. What I was just talking about is going from, I just kind of explained how that breath feels for me, like how the air travels. And so what I'm talking now about is um, now instead of focusing our attunement on the actual breath and how it travels, to only attune into the rise and to the fall of your stomach. And we're going to do this for a minute. So we're not going to tune in to how the air feels and travels in. We're going to tune into this nose mouth breath through the stomach and through that rise and fall, and just maintain that and try and bring it deeper into our system. Or we're even going to sink in deeper after that. So for 1 minute, I invite you to close your eyes, breathing in and out, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. and attuning into the stomach only, and feeling the breath through the stomach for 1 minute starting now. Feeling the breath through the rise and fall of the stomach and deepening the sensation of breath. And now letting that go. And Sandy, how was that for you? Could you tap into that a little bit?
A warmth, like a really sense of um like a heating in my body, like my
Yeah,
hands are even like a lot warmer than they were when I first came out.
yeah,
The other thing I noticed is when my stomach would become really full, I can
yeah,
actually feel it in these muscles in my neck.
yeah.
Like I could feel like the meridian line or something, like the
Mm,
chi line, like the energy of the breath kind of even filling my neck, even though I was only intentionally filling my stomach.
yeah,
um, and yeah, just the sense of warmth.
yeah. It's a
Yeah.
little bit of a this is something new that I'm working on to help people maybe find like what breath work is if we're doing a session. So trying to help, like I'm trying to develop something to help embody this process. And so, and now the next part, this will be the last one. And my invitation now is to really feel, and now we've done this lightly before, but to imagine that every pore in your skin, every aspect of you is a mouth or a nose or has the capability of breathing. And so my invitation now is to really focus on the body and feeling the energetic flow of the body from inside you and all around you, and to feel the movement of energy moving in and out of the system. And we're just going to invite this in for a moment. So just kind of settling back down, adding any wiggling or moving that you need to, and then just kind of
Sliding the breath.
oops, and then kind of rediscovering your breath. And so now I invite you to really tune into the body here. Imagine feeling like, maybe even imagine like a balloon inflating or deflating, and you're in the middle of the balloon. And as it deflates, all the rubber around the balloon is touching the physical. And as you exhale out, expanding our energy out and filling the balloon, and deepening the process of breathing with our system as a whole. So, feeling the body and how it breathes, and mixing that sensation in with inviting in the feeling and sensations of energy and how it moves in and how we may expand it out. And now the invitation here is to let this go and just slowly kind of bring yourself back to the sensations of the ground that you sit upon, the sounds around you, any wiggling or movement that you would like to invite into the body, and really shifting and maybe feeling all the energy. And really just kind of bringing yourself back to this beautiful day, this beautiful space. Yeah.
We still have a connection, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. I was just giving you a
Yeah.
moment.
There's a little bit of oh, thank you. No, there is a little bit of a delay I'm noticing, I think just from the environment.
Yeah.
Um,
That's
yeah,
okay.
that was great. I love the image of the balloon. I felt like my energy field was like
Yeah.
quantuming, if that makes sense. Like I
Yeah.
felt light, but also more expansive at the same time. Like I was like taking up more energetic space and giving off like more beautiful higher vibrations, right? That's kind of what we're all about here, is raising the vibration. And I, on my exhale, I was like, the kind of what I was seeing on my third eye, like the back of my eyelids or whatever, was becoming like white light. Yeah, so it was really like divine energy.
Mm. I love it. Yeah, super beautiful. Yeah, so this is like just something I'm exploring and putting together for people, like to maybe even do like some type of workshop on this to help, like, because I think sometimes like it's just hard to fall into breathing. And if anyone is going to like breath work, where it's a little bit longer breathing too, like sometimes that connection into us can be rather difficult. And because we've been so disconnected for so long, and so this is just an offering that I'm kind of working on to try and help people maybe reconnect with the body and using the breath like at a little bit of a deeper level. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that.
I did. I did. It's great.
Yeah,
I feel super like I could go like, you know, like write a paper, or like, if there was an activity that I really needed to concentrate or focus. I think
yeah,
that these they help folks like me who are a little bit on the like ADHD spectrum. I kind of hate saying that because I feel like nowadays we're all so easily distracted, by our phones and by,
yeah.
just like the amount of media that's being thrown at us and consumed, and the amount of dings and dongs and texts and, distractions. So yeah, so I think like that was just something that I would love to see myself do, say before I write a blog or a newsletter. I just feel really like clear headed, and like I feel like I embody, like I want to go hug my children too right now. Like I feel like loving, and like I want to go hug people.
I love that. It's so beautiful. Let's end it on that because that's such a beautiful thing.
Awesome.
Go,
Well, I
just
love
go
you.
hug people today and have a beautiful day.
I love
And
you.
just
Hope
yeah, and just an invitation to remember the 5 finger breathing and come on down tomorrow night for some sound healing and breath work. And I hope you have a beautiful day. And go hug. How many people can you hug today? Can
I'm.
make maybe we could do a challenge and be like, how many strangers can we go up and hug today?
Oh, don't tempt me with a good time. You can ask Stan about that. Oh God, I'm surprised I haven't gotten myself shot for doing that, but but yeah, thanks, Matt. And just a gentle reminder to pcsam.org. If you are interested in our membership, your membership supports these programs and the other offerings that we're hoping to develop in the future. So we really do appreciate everybody that has stepped up to support us at that monthly level, just to give us a little bit more security so we have the resources we need to keep doing this. So thanks again, everyone.